Hello everybody, welcome to the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. Boom, boom. Thank you so much for watching the show this weekend. We're going to be in Sacramento November 2nd, San Francisco November 3rd, Progressive Comedy Tour. Sacramento sold out. Might do a second show if enough people show up. Can't say for sure, but still tickets available in San Francisco. Please go to grahamelwood.com. And of course, we're coming to Florida January 9th through the 12th. Go to grahamelwood.com for those dates. We're going to be adding shows in March, all over the place. So, come and join us, make Gotham great again. This is an interesting article that I came across. An anti-war movement spreads among tech workers. This is showing, for me, how we talk a lot about on the show, like little ways everybody can resist. Because if you connect the dots and you see the people that are in power, they're controlling us on every level. I did an interview with Bruce Levine talking about how the pharmaceutical industry, starting back in the 80s, started prescribing all these drugs to keep people who were like teenagers who were like questioning. Anybody that's questioning authority is being medicated by the pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to treat yourself with meditation or good diet or whatever. They don't want you to do that. So he is a small group of psychologists and psychiatrists who are resisting that. It's eye-opening. Please watch the entire video, the interview that I do with Bruce Levine. So here's another great resistance among tech workers. We talk about Google and Amazon, these big tech companies, their CEOs, their high-level management are doing stuff that we don't agree with. But the people, the programmers and everybody else, they're like, wait a minute. They're just like us. They're probably watching, some of you are probably watching this show going, this ain't right, man. So resistance to U.S. militarism is growing in an unlikely place. The tech industry, the New York Times reported last week that at Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Salesforce, as well as tech startups, engineers and technologists are increasingly asking whether the products they are working on are being used for surveillance in places like China or for military projects in the United States or elsewhere. Right? This, of course, happened, the Project Maven. We'll get into this, but this is when everyone at Google employees were like, wait a minute, why are we doing Project Maven? And this is what it's going to take. It takes an Edward Snowden everywhere. It takes a bunch of Edward Snowdens to go, this ain't right. And not just at the NSA, and anybody at the NSA that's watching, come on, man, join the good side. Get out the dark side. Leave the empire. Come over our side. You know what I'm saying is the truth. You know it. This trend made news last spring when Google employees protested its involvement in military program called Maven, which harnesses artificial intelligence for identifying targets. That sounds evil. The employees released a petition stating, quote, "We believe that Google should not be in the business of war. Therefore, we ask that Project Maven be canceled and that Google draft, publicize, and enforce a clear policy stating that neither Google nor its contractors will ever build warfare technology." We got the power, man. Every big company, how many board of directors and CEOs and those people versus the thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or in some cases millions of employees? You have the power. The workers have the power. Let them know we ain't doing this crap. Wells, what is it? Whole Foods employees are trying to unionize? Go for it. There's more of you than there are of Jeff Bezos. McDonald's employees, absolutely unionize. Absolutely. Tech employees, you don't want to make sinister CIA bullshit? Say no. Say no. They can't flood the whole workforce full of CIA operatives. They can't do it. There's more of us than there are of them, and they know this, which is why they'll try to shut me down. This will get demonetized like that. In May, Google announced that it would not seek a renewal of the Maven contract. A more recent focus of protests is a $10 billion program called the Joint Enterprise Defense Infrastructure, or JEDI. That offends me, that you use a Star Wars term for Jedi. Jedis are samurai warriors that's rooted in Buddhism. That's what George Lucas was doing when he created that. Yoda is Buddha. The Jedis are samurai. That they would take this thing, the Jedi, and turn it into this awful war thing. Oh God, you offend me. Which calls for collecting military data in a cloud system. JEDI is thought to play a key role in the Pentagon's ambitions to incorporate artificial intelligence into its operations. Yeah, they want AIs to control all of us. That sounds awesome. Employees of Microsoft, which is bidding on JEDI, have urged the company to withdraw from the project. In an open letter to the protesters, in an open letter, the protesters quote a Pentagon official acknowledging that JEDI is truly about increasing the lethality of our department, the protesters state. They're just, oh yeah, we just want to have AIs go kill people. Many Microsoft employees don't believe that we should be used for waging war. When we decided to work for Microsoft, we were doing so in the hopes of empowering every person on the planet to achieve more, not with the intent of ending lives and enhancing lethality. For those who say that another company will simply pick up JEDI where Microsoft leaves it, we would ask workers at that company to do the same. A race to the bottom is not an ethical position. See what they're saying? America is all about war, and tech employees are saying no. Another company will pick it up. Not if all those employees draft this letter. There's more of us than there are of them. Never forget that. Never forget that. There is more of us than there are of them. There is more citizens that believe in doing the right thing than work at the NSA. There is more of us than work in the CIA. There is more of us than work in the Pentagon. Never forget that. Never let them forget that. They need to be told that. Governments should be afraid of us. Right now, we're all afraid of them because they're sinister and evil, and they just want war. They just want to profit off of the murder and pillaging and rape and destruction of human beings. That's what they want to do. Tech workers are telling them to jam it. Refuse to participate in developing technologies of war. Our labor, our expertise, and our lives will not be in the service of destruction. Abstain from working for technology companies that fail to reject the weaponizing of their technology for military purposes. Instead, push our companies to pledge to neither participate in nor support the development, manufacturing, trade, or use of autonomous weapons, and instead support efforts to ban autonomous weapons globally. That was from a bunch of Stanford tech students. These are the letters that are being, these are powerful letters, man. See what happens when everyone gets together and goes, nope, there's nothing they can do. Google's going to fire all these tech people? Good luck. Good luck. Who's going to do the job then? These are highly skilled positions. Who's going to do that job? Everybody says no? Then it doesn't happen. Google, Microsoft, oh, we're changing our tune. Somebody else will pick up JEDI. If everyone else at the company says nope, it won't happen. See how that works? Lay down your weapons and walk away. It all ends. War ends right now. It ends right now if we all stop. U.S. wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Pakistan have resulted in the direct bombs and bullets or indirect displacement, disease, malnutrition deaths of more than 1.1 million people. Most of them civilians, according to the Costs of War Project. Last year alone, U.S. and allied airstrikes in Syria and Iraq killed 6,000 civilians, according to the Washington Post. And then I hear people on the so-called left saying that questioning why we're bombing Syria, you're an Assad apologist. When people accuse Jimmy Dore of that, Tulsi Gabbard is accused of being an Assad apologist. You really think Assad, I'm not saying Assad's a good guy. I'm not like, yay, he's such a warm, cuddly. No, I'm just saying we need him out of there so we can build a pipeline. This is more ridiculous regime change. It was the last chemical weapons attack in April of this year, 2018. They literally, from the authorities, said an alleged attack, we sent rockets that killed civilians. And people at Mother Jones and some even on TYT and stuff are saying, then they make Jimmy Dore and Tulsi Gabbard, oh, they're crazy, they're extremists. So you want war. You call yourself liberal, but you like war. You like bombing people. Follow Carla Ortiz, excuse me. I'm going to interview her coming up. She's going to set us straight on Syria. She knows it's nonsense. She sees what's really happening there. Stop this endless war. It's baffling to me that people, someone from Mother Jones is literally like, oh, we need war. We're in favor of war. Really? My guess is in San Francisco, you've never been to a war zone. I've seen them. They're pretty horrifying. You know who gets killed the most? Civilians. Children, women, innocent civilians. That's who gets murdered. And yet you want more murder. You want more war. Well, tech employees are saying no. Tech employees are saying, we don't want to do that. We don't want to be a part of this. 6 million in Syria and Iraq just this past year. 1.1 million, most of them civilians from Iraq and Afghanistan and Pakistan. I've done comedy shows in those two countries. Thanks for supporting the show, you guys. They're going to demonetize the shit out of this one. You know that. So go to my patreon.com and say no to war. And if someone calls himself a lefty and a liberal and they got a vagina hat and a rainbow flag and they still want war, ask them what the fuck are they talking about? Fuck you and fuck your wars and fuck your wars for profit. And wake the fuck up that the corporate machine is pushing for war. And they've sold it to people on the left, neoliberals. Man, neoliberals are in favor of war. What the fuck happened? God, if you were alive in the 60s and 70s, you'd be like, maybe Kissinger wasn't that bad of a guy. Good friends with Hillary. She's big war. She's pro-war. She's profited from war. Wake up. Join these tech workers and say, no, you ain't going to do it. Walk off. Organize. Unionize. And tell them no. Thanks for watching.